What's going on YouTube, it's Manny right here. Welcome to the channel. Over here we have the DJI Mavic Air 2. Thanks to dronesdirektuk for sending me so I can have a quick test on this drone. But just for a disclaimer, I am not paid by DJI to create this video. This is completely entirely a independent review from myself. I will be going out to test and everything, and I will review this, and then it will entirely be my own opinion. So that's that one out of the way. Let's get into this video. So in this video we are going to be looking at a couple of things. One being what's inside the box, the price of each drones between the Mavic Air 2, Mavic 2 Pro, Mavic Air and the Mavic Mini. Then we'll be looking at the size comparison of the drones to the rest of the drones. Then we'll be looking at the sample footages and the sample images, and at the end of this video I will provide my view on who is this drone for and why they should get it. So what's inside the box? Here we have the drone, the flight battery, the remote controller with 2 flying sticks below the remote controller, and then 3 pairs of propellers, AC power adapter, AC power cable, instruction manual, gimbal cover, USB cable, 2 pairs of spare flying sticks with the RC cable itself. So we have the Mavic Air 2 here sitting side by side with my Mavic 2 Pro and my Mavic Air. Sadly, I do not have the DJI Mavic Mini, so I cannot put them next to each other to compare them side by side. But as a rough guide, the Mavic Mini is about the same size as this phone adapter right here for my Mavic 2 Pro. Now as you can see, the Mavic Air 2 are smaller than the Mavic 2 Pro, and it is slightly larger than the Mavic Air in terms of thickness and in terms of width as well, just only slightly. And it is larger than the Mavic Mini. Now this sits nicely in between Mavic 2 Pro and the Mavic Mini, and it then replaces your Mavic Air if you do own them. What that means is that you will be able to carry the Mavic Air 2 with you more often than you will be with the Mavic Pro 2. Of course you can do that with the Mavic Mini, but the Mavic Mini doesn't offer you as many features as you want with the Mavic Air 2. Now in terms of design, it is almost identical to the Mavic 2 Pro. A huge change in design from the first generation, however, is the Mavic Air. The design has completely changed, and it's a lot thicker than the first generation. And what I must say is that I do like the design of the first generation Mavic Air. It's quite thin and sleek, and the design is quite unique, and also it's quite fun. However, I do get why DJI has gone down this route and made changes on the design to become more uniform across the whole Mavic range. That's partly the reason why it's to keep things simple for us to make our choice easier when we buy them. So price wise, the Mavic Air 2 retails at £769 with the Fly Mode combo at £949, and the Mavic 2 Pro retails at £1,349 with the Fly Mode combo at £1,688, and the Mavic Mini will be retailed at £369 with Fly Mode combo at £459. As for the Mavic Air, it's retailed at about the same price as the Mavic Air 2 at the moment, but of course right now for use it will be a lot cheaper. Right, let's get this thing out for a test flight. But before you get this thing out for its first flight, make sure that everything is up to date, the firmware and the remote controller firmware, and then make sure that you also thoroughly read through the instruction manual if you're a beginner, and also make sure that your drone and the controller are fully charged up before you head out. You're welcome to pause this video and go and do all that if you want to, and then when you're done you can come back and continue. You all done? Okay, let's go. let's look at the positive and the negative. We will start with the positive first. The Mavic Air 2 has a OcuSync 2.0. This is an upgrade over the Mavic Air. The old Mavic Air only has a Wi-Fi, and the connection between your remote controller and the drone would always lose the signal, and this can be an issue when you're out flying. Now with the OcuSync 2.0, the connection now is a lot better and have a longer range video transmission, and the video transmission now has an automatic switching functionality between 2.4 GHz and 5.8 GHz, and that's really good. Next, we have the battery flight times of 34 minutes. Now that's a huge improvement over the Mavic Air of just 21 minutes. From 21 minutes to a whopping 34 minutes is a huge improvement. That means that now you can go out and fly your drone for a longer period of time, and then you can capture as many content as you can whilst you're up there. There's nothing worse than driving miles after miles just to find that you only have a 16 minutes of battery flight time. Sure, you can have multiple batteries with you if you want and carry loads of battery all over the places in your backpack with you, but that's not ideal. So more flight times equals less batteries to carry around in your backpack. So the Mavic Air 2 has a front, backwards and downwards obstacle avoidance system, and it also has a hugely improved APAS 3.0 system over the Mavic Air. Previously on the Mavic Air, it doesn't avoid the obstacle that well, but DJI have improved this feature on the Mavic Air 2 and made it safer to fly than ever before. However, the drone doesn't have a top and side obstacle avoidance, so if you are flying over any trees or small branches, you will still have to take extra care and fly with caution and not fully rely on the obstacle avoidance that you have on this drone right here. Next, we have the size of the drones, and the remote controller are now bigger than the Mavic Air in all departments. Drone is taller in height and heavier, but is packed with beefier features than that of the Mavic Air. So if you want a better features, then your bodies are going to be bigger. This is something that you cannot avoid. The controller is bigger, however, I must say, although it is bigger, it is more comfortable to hold compared to the older drone's remote controller. Now this controller actually feels more natural, and then it actually feels more like you're holding a PS4 or game controller pad. And of course, by having the phone holder on the top, it actually makes it feel more natural to hold than the previous remote controller. Yes, it is bigger and bulkier, so when you're traveling, you just have to bear this in mind when you're packing your drones and everything else in your backpack. So the drone also gives you the option to shoot 12 megapixel or 48 megapixel in JPEG or DNG RAW format, which is really good. As you can see between all of these examples that I'm about to show you now, both of them have minor differences in terms of quality, and they are really hard to tell. Of course, if you were to pixel peep them, you'll be able to slightly tell the differences between them. From looking at these examples, although the 12 megapixel does offers a slightly sharper image quality in certain conditions, but the 48 megapixel offers a larger resolutions if you decide to get your photos printed in large format in the future. This is where it becomes handy. The feature that I'm most excited about, 4K 60. It's the one feature that many people have been crying out for a long time on a portable tiny drones like the Mavic Air 2, and I have to say it didn't disappoint at all. The quality came out really good. I love how crisp the image quality are here. Now the only complaint I have is I just wish there are more manual options available on the video side, like to be able to control the saturation and sharpness and contrast. That would be nice. Hopefully this is something that they will address on the firmware update. 8K hyperlapse. This is a new feature that you will be able to find on the Mavic Air 2. It shoots at an impressive 8K resolution, and that means that you will be able to capture super high-res hyperlapse, and if you wish to zoom in on a 4K and 1080p time frame, then you will be able to do that with the 8K hyperlapse. However, I do have a small issue with it. Because the drone is shooting at 8K resolution and 8K file size is very demanding, so the drone can take 2 to 3 times longer to capture, process and save the 8K resolution images. And that means that you could be sitting there for at least 15 minutes just for the drones to be capturing 8K hyperlapse footages. Make sure you fly in a non-windy condition because otherwise the footage will not look good at all. And finally, we want to go into the slight negative of the drone. Maybe it's something that you can improve probably. So the lack of professional settings is an issue for me. Now the app itself doesn't have all the professional control settings you will find in the Mavic 2 Pro, which means that you can't adjust sharpness, saturation and contrast. Now for videographers it's quite a big deal because they want to have some sort of control over their footage so that they can adjust to the setting that suited their style, so they could then color grade better in post-processing. But it's not all bad because DJI does offer quite a capable, improved version of the Cinelight. And another thing is that most of the drones normally have quite an overly sharpening look that doesn't really look natural for some people. To be able to adjust the settings will make a huge difference. Hopefully that's something that DJI will address in the future firmware update. So who is this drone for and why? After having some time to test them out, I would say that this drone is mainly for the travelers who want to travel with ease and have a smaller drone compared to the Mavic 2 Pro, but doesn't mind actually losing some quality. Let me explain. Some people, but not all, prefers just to have a smaller drone so they can travel to places and carry the drones everywhere with ease. And the Mavic Air 2 offers you that with the 1/2-inch sensor and many other features that you won't find on the Mavic Air. Some people do, however, prefers maximum quality over portability. So this is where they will then go to the Mavic 2 Pro. But for most travelers who travels around the world, many continents and countries of the countries, they will want something small and portable where they can carry around and put the small drone inside the backpack without taking up lots of space inside the backpack. And this Mavic Air 2 will be quite suitable for that. So the DJI Mavic Air 2 offers a massive improvement over the Mavic Air, and it also offers that little bit more than what the Mavic Mini can offer. So this drone is not quite suitable for the beginners. However, that's not to say that this drone is not made for the beginners, as most of the DJI drone consumer drones right now are designed to be easy to use and user friendly, that anyone who doesn't have any experience, with practice they can be good at it and they can fly the drone as well. So that concludes the whole video. Gosh, I must say this video has gone on for quite some time. There's just so many things and features to talk about, and it can go on forever. Anyway, I hope you find this video useful, and I hope you find the review is useful. If you do like what you see, then give us a thumbs up, it will help us so much. And then subscribe if you like what you see. And until then, I will see you next time.